welcome to an open-minded space. It's another amazing edition. And guess what? It's the third edition for today. And being the fact it's the third edition, we've decided to come up with a very amazing topic to discuss, because this whole arrangement, this platform has been designed for you, me, and everyone to have an understanding about life in general, not just in general, but about some basic and important and also the major things about life. And one of the major and important things about life on its own has got to do with this word, M-A-N, man. Man. And there's this amazing song that says it's a man's word, but it's nothing without a woman in it. But today is not the version of us to talk about the woman and the man's word, but we're going to talk about a man in today's world, today's reality. What's our definition for man? Because the whole concept, it's quite, it's twisting. It's been twisted, and not just the fact that it's been twisted, from what we see in our society today, it's quite confusing. And not just confusing, but it's, we just want to have an understanding of what a man is, and not just what a man is, your expectation from a man. And also, don't forget, there's one thing we don't do. We do not generalize, okay? Everybody is an individual. Everybody has different capacity. They have different orientation about life. They have different views. They have different things concerning each person. So it's not a thing of using the dictionary definition. Say a man is I don't even know the dictionary definition for that word, a man now, but I know what it is to see a man and point out one that this is a man. But funny thing today, when you say this is a man, you'll be like, no, that's not a man. I identify as something else, or this or that. It's confusing. When a global world in today's society, it's no longer confined to one sport. It's no longer confined to one community, to a clan and everything. So today we're going to have a topic that would really expand our mindset concerning what a man is, what to expect from a man and his ego, man and his relationship, man and his sexual experience. There's a whole lot that's got to do with man. And let's not forget, we do not generalize. So now, coming from this angle, I have an amazing guest here. And he had a topic, he had a program last week. He's going to tell you about the program anyway. Yeah, he had a program last week, and it was talking about, it just got to do with the definition of what a man is and what you expect from a man. And while we were off air, I asked him, how was it? He said it was amazing. So it gives me great joy. And the sad part is that I asked him, can I come? He said, you're not a man. I'm like, nah, this guy, why lords? But all the same, he's here, and we're going to have an expose. So be it you man, be it you woman, be it you boy, girl, whomever you fit in this society today, you need to sit back and let's have an understanding. So now I have a guest, amazing guest. This is the second time I'm hosting him. Yes, and the first time, I think that was some years ago. Yeah, within the space before 2020. Yeah. Oh, more COVID-19, oh, blessed memory. Before 2020, I had him on my show, and we had an amazing time. And today he's here again, and he has an amazing name too. Very lovely name. Joshua Triumphant. And when you talk about Joshua Triumphant, we all know the person here that really pioneered that name, the person who has that name in the Bible, he represents leadership. He represents someone who takes the lead, who has courage, and a lot of things got to do with that. And come and see the name, combination, Joshua Triumphant. Don't pure now. So today's show is going to be a pure one. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be amazing, because we've got a manly man here to give us a definition of his own definition, okay? It's not a general thing, his own definition. So if you are with him, you jump on the bandwagon. If you're not with him, you jump off. You see some other person is the one you want to jump in, provided it takes you to your destination. Hi, Joshua.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Amazing. And thank you for coming. In today's society, I've just given a foundation of what we're to expect from what we want to discuss today. So now the thing is that today's society, there's a lot that's got to do with who a man is. It's quite puzzling. It's confusing. It's sad. And it's interesting. And it's quite unfortunate that when I define what a man is to me, some person will be like, man, I'm like, it's my own definition. It's not yours. You have your own definition. You know what you want to say about what a man is. And me, it's a different thing for me. First thing, my definition for a man is, I grew up in a house where I had an uncle who was more like a nanny. He was an amazing chef. He made some kind of food that makes me cry with too many onions. I'm like, I don't like you. But he portrayed that domestic aspect of lifestyle for us. So I practically learned how to cook beans through from him, there's some basic things you expect from the female to do that. I learned from him. And also I've had my father too in the same house. Also I have a mom, but she travels, she comes, but I have all these figures represented, but I did not personalize like this is a woman's job, this is a man's job and all that. The job I had to do was to wash plates, and I'll break some, so I'll have less to wash. But life goes on. So now I've had I have a background of where I've seen men do things that is expected of a human being to do. Yeah. Then I grew up now. Then now I see things I'm like, it's not a man's job. You are a man, don't do that. You are a man, don't do this. You are a man, you're not supposed to. You're a man. So it's confusing. But we've managed. Then we got to an era where the internet came, boom. We now see different things of definition of man. I'm like, what's going on? Like, make me understand what a man is in this society today, because the level we are now, it's a global background we have. It's no longer a local background. It's no longer our clansmen thing. It's not a global background. No matter how you want to coin yourself to say, this is who I am, you're open to every other person. I don't really know how to put the word, but please just explain to us, what's your definition of a man in today's reality?
All right, thank you very much. It's an interesting conversation. I've spent quite a while, also thinking and building models, thinking models and framework in terms of how we can teach younger people, or teach men, younger men, teenagers, such that they are able to grow up in a world with some type of structure as to what structure and model as to kind of man they should aspire to become. So I agree with you. It has become a bit confusing. Yeah. It has also become a bit traffic-driven, where anybody can see anything about gender roles, even for male and for female. But because we are talking about male here, about gender roles, and if they want to trend online, they know what to say about genders and how they will pull on the string of people. The reason why it's so confusing and so traffic-driven and all that is because it's also very deeply personal. Okay. The type of man you are impacts on your family, your friends. It shows up at work. You walk around with it. It colors everything you do. The kind of
it's your personality entirely.
The kind of man you are. All right. So that's why it becomes deeply passionate. It's very intrinsic in terms of also the fact that people internalize you by how they experience you. Yeah. Right. So that's why there's an opinion about and also there's also a generalization as well in terms of they say all men should be, men are, and that generation also impacts on the fact that because you had an experience or a bad experience from one man, you know, does not mean that, and also because you had a good experience from one person, doesn't mean that that's how all men behave. Okay. So there is all that different context in terms of the experience, the generalization, and all that. So now, what is the part of what I was able to do on Saturday at my event? Yeah. What can we hold as a basic foundational definition
for a man?
For a man, because there's no really it's not a thing. It's not a non-living thing. No. Where you can say
and you expect it to remain like that. No, it doesn't work that way. Even sand itself is living thing. I found that recently because that's the same thing. You put a planet and it gives you life.
So there are components that bring life in those things. So you begin to then look for how to define it. So there's the biological definition, which deals with, and there are two frameworks I'm going to use. I'm going to use the feature definition and then the function definition. Okay. So the feature definition is that a man is an adult male. Okay. Because there is a boy.
Thank you.
A boy is a unmatured, undeveloped male. Okay. It's a young boy.
The process of being a man.
Yeah. So in the process of being a man, he has all the features of a man, but he's not quite yet a man yet. All right. So there's that. You talk about the feature definition in terms of the simple biology. A man is an adult male with X and Y chromosome for the most part. All right. So that's the basic. All men are defined by that feature.
Can we include that they have a male organ too, because
we are getting there.
Okay, thank you.
So that's why I say all men are defined by a set of features.
Okay.
A male organ called the penis.
Okay.
For the most part, also stronger bones. For the most part, because not all men have stronger bones.
Okay. So majority of men, majorly, they are a biological function. Or what's it called? They are physiotherapy.
They are
anatomy.
Yes,
the male anatomy has a different structure compared to the female. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so a man is more masculine by that definition, broader shoulders, things like that. So but the basic foundational feature that all men share is the male organ called the penis and the XY chromosome.
Okay,
so that's the biological function, feature definition.
Okay.
Their hair, in this part of the world, male hair doesn't grow long. It grows longer in other parts of the world. So their basic feature definition, the voices are thicker, or at least they're expected to be thicker, and things like that. So that's the basic feature definition. Now when it comes to the functional definition, which is an interesting thing, all gender on this earth has functional roles.
Okay.
And it is from those functional roles that you find definition expression in terms of all of the roles they play. So a father is a man who has a child.
Okay.
A brother is a man who has siblings, either a male who has male or female siblings.
Okay.
So you can then stretch the definition of a man into all the roles that he plays. The basic roles include father, brother, husband, uncle, nephew, cousin, and all that. So those are also frameworks you can use in that definition. A man is a father when he has a child.
Okay.
A man is a husband when he has a wife. A man is a uncle when he has
siblings, cousins, or whatever.
Children from his siblings and things like that. So there's all that. Now it's interesting to understand that all of social definitions come from the roles that a man plays.
Okay.
Right? All of social definition comes from the roles that a man plays. So how can you begin to then define what a man is in today's world? You have to first understand what a man has been.
Okay.
Historically, a man has been defined by primarily his capacity to provide, his capacity to protect. Historically, his capacity to, I think those two things were the
protection and provision.
Those two things were the major pillars of his definition.
Okay.
Majorly.
We're going to hold on to that, provision and protection. Okay.
Those are the major pillars of the definition of a man. All right. Now, also all that also then historically, because a man was defined by those two major pillars, he was allowed, or he was given a lot of advantage in society, because they will tell you, a man, between a man and a woman to get a job, let's give it to a man because a man has a family.
Yes, interesting.
So they were those sort of advantage historically in terms of the man's evolution. Now, for a man's definition today, outside of the biological definition of his features and the functional roles that he plays, a man must own his male or masculine identity by defining himself correctly across a couple of things. Number one, he must have the type of independence of thinking that allows him shape his own mind about who he is and who he wants to be. Okay. To me, that's very important. Okay. He must have independent thinking. A man in today's world must define his masculinity not from anything physical, because what we are finding is that there are more people, more ladies are getting, they're experiencing more physical development. It means if you go into any gym now, 70%, 80% of the females of the people in those gyms you might. I'm not using any original statistics, but you will find more women in the gym. Yes. It means a lot of women are toning their muscles, bodybuilding. They are building their body. At least they are staying fit and they are staying healthy. Yeah. So it means, as a man, if you go to do anyhow, they will beat you.
Oh my goodness.
So it is no longer, you can no longer define a man's your masculine identity.
Traits with strength.
With strength in that sense, right? So, yeah. So, it means you have to hold on to more principle-centered, non-tangibles that help you master yourself on this earth. So I always say, number one, it has to be about your ability to think independently.
Independent mindset.
You have to have an independent mindset. Not like free thinking. I mean like quality independent mindset to see the world correctly.
How do we talk about independent mindset? It's a very, very interesting foundation for every human being.
Yeah, human.
And now today's topic is about a man. And talking about a man having an independent mindset, how does one just have an independent mindset? Because our society we find ourselves today, majority of people think in a uniform way. Yeah. If you want to find out how this man, like for me, if I want to find out how a man thinks, I find out how he associates himself, his religion, his place of worship, his pastor is my number one target too. Your pastor, and mainly I look at your pastor, who's pastoring this person, because I know today's society, the people look for leaders. They are craving for someone to lead them out of their situation. So having an independent mindset, it's not common for today. Yeah, so when you talk about it, it sounds interesting, but it doesn't kick. And some people will say, I get independent mindset now, but they don't. So
the thing is, for most men, okay, let me answer this way. Independent mindset is not that you are stubborn.
No. But you know when to say no and when to say yes.
Yeah. So independent mindset, a person with an independent mindset or a truly independent person is a person who understands the principles that governs life. His life or life? That governs life.
His life and life itself.
Yeah, that governs, because the key thing is that you must have understanding that principles govern life.
Okay.
Let me explain it this way, right? Principles, what governs human behavior is values, or our values. Okay. What governs the human experience are principles. It means that, for instance, the law of gravity is a principle.
Okay.
So principle provides a level playing field for everybody, and principle guarantees that success becomes an exact science. This is what I mean. It means if you plant orange in Nigeria, if you plant orange in Portugal, if you plant orange in London, if you plant orange in anywhere in the world, as long as the principle of seed, time and harvest applies correctly in that context, it means orange will grow anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
It also means that if the president of Nigeria, if the poorest man in Nigeria, if the middle class, if a fat, if a short, if a tall, if a slim person stands on a building, if you push all of them at the same time, there's guarantee that it is principle that guarantees that all of them will come to the ground. So an independent thinking, or a person who is independent, must understand this as the fundamental framework.
That's a common mindset.
That's the first basic thing, that you must understand that there are things
that applies to everything
and applies to everything.
Okay.
For instance, also there's a principle of first thinking, the first principles thinking, in terms of the fact that everything is created twice.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's the first blueprint of everything before those things become reality.
Okay.
So these are also principles that shape our human experience and our thinking. So an independent person is not just that you have a strong opinion.
Okay, it's
because you can have a wrong, strong
opinion. Okay, so it's like an independent mind is a person who has the blueprint for the right things. You are aware of it and you're doing it.
You have a clear understanding of how life works, not from your opinion,
but general opinion, because this is how it is. Just like we know 1 and 1 is 2.
1 plus 1 is 2.
I don't know about you people that are doing it's 3, but me, I know it's 2. So just the fact that anywhere you go, you add this and you add this to give you 2, no matter where you find yourself in life. So that is a principle that has to be embedded in you to make you. Okay, so.
Sorry. Also that if a man is sleeping with a woman in the right conditions, she will get pregnant.
Okay.
You understand? It's a law. As in the right conditions.
Yes.
Not that you're applying all kind of any other.
You can apply if you want to.
You can apply if you want to apply, but I'm saying that within the right conditions.
Okay.
If a man sleeps with a woman, she's going to get pregnant. So within the right conditions, right? If you put seed on the ground, it's going to grow. Within the right conditions, what else? There are things that are at the top level that must shape all independent thinking.
Okay.
That is what produces, provides the scope.
Okay, so now the point that you are making, to my understanding, is that everything concerning independent thinking has a, let me say, it has a manual, a general universal manual.
Universal
so you need to understand the principles about this for you to be able to function in this universe, this world we find ourselves. All right, we get it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, that a man that will live, a man that should define his, how should a man in today's world define his masculine identity? He must define it from our independent thinking.
Okay.
A man must define his masculine identity from his self-sufficiency.
Okay.
This is what I mean by self-sufficient. A man must build himself to be self-sufficient to a certain degree, such that you can care for yourself.
Okay.
Do you understand? Like, you don't allow your personal space to be ungoverned in any way. You must be able to care for yourself. You must understand your personal hygiene. You must understand your strengths and your weaknesses. You must understand how to balance your emotions. You must understand all that. That's self-sufficient. It means that you are not wasting yourself. You are not overburdening anybody in this sense, such that you understand the limits that you have, you understand your strengths, and you are applying yourself correctly across board. You can take care of yourself. If they leave you alone in the house, you can cook your food, you can wash your clothes.
Okay.
You can care for yourself.
As a human being. Self-sufficient human.
Self-sufficient.
So it's the old time from everything now you've said is that your definition from what I'm getting now is that to be a man, you need to be self-independent. You need to know what to do at the right time for yourself. And also, it's happened now that whatever you're doing for yourself, and if it applies to the society, it still yields that positivity, because whatever positive thing you're doing for yourself, it reflects in your environment.
Yes.
All right. So that's a beautiful definition. Yes, it's an amazing definition, because independency, it's one thing that we have a different thing. Forget, I just think about Nigerian independence. Go ahead, my minute. Independence is one beautiful thing that we need to know that a man needs to have. And it's a very lovely thing, though. As a woman, when we see independent man, it's beautiful. Like, I read the story of Things Fall Apart, Okonkwo and the rest. There's a clip where Okonkwo's last wife left her husband because she assumed he was a weakling and ran to Okonkwo's. I got married to him. Like, she did her, she's a strong man. She said, that's an independent man. Pew! She left.
Society,
that was
humans, everybody loves a person. Man or woman anyways, but for the purpose of our conversation, everybody loves a man who is independent, is thinking, is self-sufficient, and also can provide, that's the third thing, can provide leadership. Can provide leadership.
Yeah. Awesome. And in this our society today, everybody's looking for somebody to lead them.
Everybody.
We have a lot of persons who are like, please lead me. But the unfortunate thing is that we have wrong figures that are posing out there to be leaders. And it's really ruining the whole thing for the society today. As you can see, many of my siblings are in church. Lord, give us a man. But you know what? We'll come to that part. I'll tell you, it's the government that is this problem. Okay, now let's look at one thing. I go online. Aside from going online, I talk to friends. I associate with lots of persons. And at times I listen to their conversation. When you talk one or two things, I'm trying to praise the men I know in my life that are amazing. As I was coming here, dude paid my transport. Awesome. We took a drop. I don't know him from anywhere. But he just they're like, okay, we're going to the same place. Let's take a taxi and come over. So when I give out some testimonies I experienced, like you coming from my party years ago, you were there with Olumatin. It was an amazing event. I had lots of people who were there, guys and the rest. I try to share my experience that men are amazing. At times I take boat rides. When we start driving, I'll be like, I'll just take the boat ride. I'll be like, you guys are trying. They say, but now what you talk? I'll be like, in this society, with the way the government tries to strangle the oil out of your system, because the one on the ground is not enough for them. So they want to squeeze it out of the man. Every man in Nigeria is trying to raise their head, but the system has a way of like, go down. So when I see this, I try to encourage every Nigerian man. I take it upon myself, like it's like a duty for me. If I see a man doing one or two things, I'm like, man, kudos, you're doing an amazing job. They're like, what did you just say? You're a woman, you're praising me. Why? I'm like, because you're trained. I know what, I don't know what it means to be a man, but I have seen and have experienced amazing men in Nigeria. So then the women now, they'll be like, oh, men are scum. Men are not nice. I'll be like, how many heartbreaks you don't get? When you want to ruin these men, their life. So I just ask some funny questions like, what have they done to you? You find out that it's one guy that did something somewhere. I'm like, how many? So I asked one question one day. Who is training all these men that are scum? Did they fall from the sky? Who gave birth to them? Because I believe that every man or every human is birthed from a woman. The woman who's tagging them as the bad people. You as a woman, you bet this person. How did you groom your child? How have you groomed them? Because now we have a bunch of people who they say they are not manly man from our own definition of what we think a man's supposed to be. So it makes me, it's confusing. Like, I know you're not a woman, but I want to ask because definitely you have a mom, you have sisters, you have a woman, the female in your life. So talking about this whole thing, like, why is it that, I don't even know if you're the person I should ask question, but it's here already. What do you think about the situation of a woman now classifying men in this other way, whereas they're the ones who groomed them? Do we blame them, or we should say, no, the man has his independent mind, he just came and he thinks that way. The mother has no influence in his life. We know the mother and the father roles are important, but women play a major role in men's life. What do you think about this situation of women who are supposed to train these men? Because we have some women who be like, no, tell her, make you not do that in Aman. Go and make food for your brother. Go and wash the plates for your brother. Then tomorrow they complain. So who do we blame in this aspect, or how do we work on this?
All right, so that's a lot.
I know, and you're not a woman to forgive him.
So let me answer this way.
Okay.
So there are generational experiences that has been transferred from one generation to
another.
And a lot of times, I always tell young, part of why I set up like my own platform for men is because when growing up, I knew all of the things that my dad did not teach me.
Okay.
And it was my experience with other men that unlocked my desire to learn them. Now, my dad is to the best of his capacity, did his best he could.
Yeah.
And I would always love and appreciate
Sorry to cut you short on this one. Do you know most of our parents, in their 20s, when they get back to us, they're just like, imagine now, you see someone in their 20s, like, what do you know? But funny enough, that's the person your father gave birth to you in his 20s, and you expect too much from them. But we're grateful that now we know that.
Yeah, so both my mom, my dad, they did the best that they could.
To their own capacity.
To their own capacity. So I always say this thing. I said, yes, for the most part, a lot of times, people cannot give you beyond who they are.
Yes.
So our family, our father, our parents, our grandparents, our uncles, they all provided the model of being a man that they knew best. A lot of it was from a traditional lens.
Yeah.
Because in Nigeria, men are defined differently across different traditions and culture.
True.